What's up, y'all? Happy 4th of July week. God bless America. And we're back at you with video 7. And I thought, what better way or what better knife to review for video 7 other than the legendary, the classic, the OG CQC-7. Look at that beaut. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh man, what can I say? I mean, if you know Emerson, you surely know this knife. It is absolutely gorgeous. And as you see, this is just the basic G10 scales. Got the thunderstorm finish. Absolutely gorgeous with that. Simplicity at its best. Done to perfection. And guys, like I said, like I say in all my videos, I love my big EDCs, but this is one knife that I make an exception on. This is one knife that feels so sturdy in your hand. It just wants you to use it. It is so utility, so tactical, and so useful in so many ways. And and I really, to be honest with you, was not sold on the whole Tonto blade concept. And I got a little story behind that I'll throw in here. But, and also the story behind this knife too. But getting to the stats, that you guys probably already know, but we got a shorter blade. This is not a big blade. It's 3.3 inches, but it feels so much bigger than that and so much more useful than that. And it's so hardy. That spine of that blade is thick, and the tip, man, oh man, this all the way to the end. You can get in there and straight get it going with this knife. No problem, no worries, within reason. And I mean, it's just a great knife, guys. But the quick little story behind this knife is I ordered this knife and, I just, basic, other than the thunderstorm finish. And I just thought that I would shoot my shot. I said, you know what, I'm going to email them and see if I can get a little something done here. And I don't recommend doing this, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this because I don't want them to get flooded with emails asking for the same thing, but what the hey, I want to share this with my, anybody that's interested in this. But I emailed them back when I ordered this knife. I said, listen, I know he's probably busy. I know he may not even be in town, but I wasn't able to make blade show because I wanted Emerson to sign one of my knives. I said, is there any way possible you'd get him to sign my CQC-7? And what do you know? They emailed me back and said, we got you. We'll get him to sign it. It may take an extra 3 to 4 days for shipping, but we'll get him to sign it. And man, oh man, he signed that bad boy. I know that's hard to see on there, guys. It's not as prevalent as some other signatures you may see like in person, but I am not complaining. And that's definitely his signature. Wonderful. And this knife, for that reason, I refuse to use it. I know it's a safe queen. It's going to sit in there and just, it's a CQC-7, guys, signed by Emerson. I mean, that's American classic. But you know what? I love to use my knives. You know what? And I refuse to not have a CQC-7 that I can't use. So you know what I did? I got back on that website and blam! America, baby. America. Look at that beaut. Oh, baby. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Okay, let's get it. This thing is amazing. As you see, I got the OD American, the Stars and Stripes, they call it, G10 scales on there. Amazing. It's, you can definitely feel a difference from the basic G10, a lot thicker in the hand and a little bit on the weight. I mean, this knife comes in, I believe, at like 4.5 ounces on paper, basic. But this one definitely is getting close to that 5. Getting close to 5 ounces, no doubt, but amazing, guys. And as you see, this has been pimped a little bit. Of course, I got these scales from Emerson. The screws, of course, from Screw For You on eBay. I put his information on another video. I'll put it on this one as well if you're interested in looking for some colored screws for your scales. And of course, the anodized pivot screw and the anodized 4-leaf clover with of course, another screw right there holding it in. But yeah, it just blends beautiful, guys. I just wanted to green this thing out. I call it my lucky 7. And for good reason. This bad boy gets it in, as I was saying. I mean, this thing gets a lot of pocket time. This is like a knife that's down for anything. Like I said, it's not big in size, but man, isn't it mighty. Just sturdy in hand. And it feels so like, for lack of a better term, it just feels like 1995 all over again. It just feels like an old school straight user, and it's beautiful. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like to call Emerson and I've heard it before, but I completely agree. It's called the Glock of knives, and it's so true to me because Glocks are so, simplistic in what they do, but to me, they're beautiful. I just think simplicity is beautiful, and that is a beautiful knife. Just a gorgeous knife, guys. And like I said, that OD green with that thunderstorm finish just sets it off. And absolutely so happy with this knife. Great lockup. Oh man, smooth as butter. I mean, not from my demonstration earlier. That was completely user fault. But this knife, of course, as you may know, has definitely a history. This is an Emerson OG. Of course, I believe back in 1994, Benchmade started making the Benchmade 970, which I think went all the way through, was it 99? You know, this thing is pretty much a descendant of the CQC-7, which, you know, was a custom that Emerson made for SEALs and military. And Benchmade approached him about making the design on a bigger scale, and he didn't want to give away that design. So he designed the CQC-7, which is now the CQC-7, but he designed this knife for them to make and coin it the Benchmade 970, which when that ran up in 99, Emerson opened up shop and started making these babies. And there ain't no looking back, baby. It's so great. Such a great knife. If you're an Emerson collector or an Emerson fan and you don't have a CQC-7 in your collection, are you really even an Emerson fan? I mean, for real. But I can't talk because it took me, I think this may have been like my 9th or 10th Emerson that I bought. And, you know, and like I said earlier in the video, I may have said it, I've never been a big Tonto fan. Whenever I first got into like buying, you know, knives other than like, you know, per se, like I said, I was mainly buck when I was a good bit younger, like, you know, basic buck 110 and stuff like that. But whenever I got into buying knives, my first expensive knife, before I even knew about Emerson, was a Southern Grind Bad Monkey, and it had the Tonto blade on it as well. And I just said, man, that blade looks so neat. I've never owned anything like that before. So I just pulled the trigger on it, got it, carried it, and I wasn't impressed. I mean, I'm not talking about Southern Grind. Their stuff is beautiful, and, you know, and if you enjoy that stuff, that's awesome. You know, and carry it, use it, love it. But the Tonto on the Bad Monkey, you know how this is just straight up, like just basic, just straight up Tonto. They have like a little wedge right here that kind of clips out, and it just kind of takes away from me the aesthetic of the blade and the aggressiveness of it, the sharpness. And I don't know, I just could not, the knife didn't speak to me. It didn't speak to me, and I carried it for a long time, and I finally traded it to my good buddy for a Yeti Rody 20 limited edition, and I'm very happy with that. And he's also very happy with the Bad Monkey that he got, so win-win. But yeah, the Tonto, and whenever I bought this knife, I was like, oh gosh, I'm trying to Tonto again. But man, let me tell you something, it's a whole different ball game from that Bad Monkey. This is wonderful. I mean, for push cuts, you just don't realize how utilitarian this blade is until you actually get it out and use it. I mean, the push cuts, I'm always using that with it. Like open up a box sideways like that, or some plastic stuff my daughter made, like some toys my daughter made get. I just slide right up it like a razor blade, man. It's just so great. And, you know, the knife, it's a weapon, guys. I mean, going back, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but it's a weapon. This knife was designed, from what I've read and researched, I mean, it's designed to like stab through like Teflon, like a thick gear. I mean, this is a straight up weapon first and a tool second. And it shows, like pretty much, you know, pretty much all of Emerson's, you know, for the most part. But this knife is great, guys. You know, great weight, great utility. And pretty much, I mean, it just, I don't know. This knife feels a lot bigger than what it is because it can handle big jobs. And also, you know, like I was saying in other videos, like, you know, whenever I flip out of Emerson, you know, and somebody around may not be a knife person or, you know, may not, you know, I don't know, appreciate those kinds of things. They're like, ooh, okay, that's a pretty wild looking knife. This knife is really not that intimidating. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's, you know, it's, like I said, it's definitely a designed weapon, but it's not that intimidating. I mean, it's a great everyday carry. I mean, you really can't get no better, in my opinion, than an everyday carry with this. The weight's great, the blade's great, the blade is super sturdy, the ergonomics are great, even though it's really simplistic, like there really isn't no, you know, but it feels great in your hand. You feel like you have a solid grip on this knife at all times in any direction. It's just amazing. But like I said, I mean, it just, this knife is something special to me, and of course, you know, in the Emerson lineage, it's a very classic American folder that I think will, it's already withstood the test of time, and so many more, you know, years ahead, I'm sure it will, because I mean, it has not changed in design, not one bit. I mean, of course, they have the They got a mini, they got the regular, and I believe on the website right now, it may be sold out, I'm not sure, but they have the super. But I'm very content with this size. I know you guys would probably say, man, get the super, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel this knife just feels right to me. And like I said, that's coming from a guy who likes larger EDCs. And like I said, this is not no baby. I know the 3.3 inch blade sounds teeny tiny, especially, you know, to me, but once you get it and open it up and start actually using it, you're like, wow, this knife is awesome, and you never want to let go of it. Like, you want to keep this in your collection for the long haul. But amazing knife, guys. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to say about this bad boy, because I mean, there's nothing I can say that hasn't already been said, but I love it, guys. And like I said, that thunderstorm finish is absolutely gorgeous on this, and you know, it cleans up nice, and any scratches that get on it just add to the character, if you ask me. It just looks really, really good. But and like I said, Emerson really hooked me up on that signature on the original that I ordered. But you know, I wouldn't recommend, you know, the sending in emails asking for that, but you know, it is what it is, man. I just want to let them know I really appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that, and that's really cool. And that's, like I said, this baby right here is going to be staying in that safe from here on in, if you ask me. But guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I mean, it's in a nutshell, an amazing knife. If like I said, if you don't own a CQC-7, I mean, they sell it also in a drop point as well. But if you ask me, man, you got to go with the OG. You got to go with the OG Tonto blade, man. That's the way it was designed. That's the way it was made. But like I said, if you prefer a drop point, which I completely understand, like I said, this knife is what really kind of sold me on Tonto. I may have got that Tonto from Southern Grind back in the day, but like I said, I just did not like it at all. And I really think it was just, I think it was the size of it, and that's why I'm really thinking that I really shouldn't look into the super, which I think I would love, of course, 10 times better than the Southern Grind. But this blade is just right. It feels right. You feel like you have control over it. Super sturdy grip, man. I could, it's like I could stab this into like a steel barrel. I mean, but I wouldn't do that. But if need be, I don't doubt that it would pierce that bad boy with the right, you know, strength behind it. But amazing knife, guys. If you guys do not have a CQC-7, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. A true American classic. And it's only right that we break out one of these bad boys, especially with those scales. Oh my gosh. God bless America, baby. Well, guys, that's another one in the bag. Like I said, I'll put the link for these screws down below. Any video I do and it has anything other than that's what's stuck on the knife, I'll definitely put down below if you're interested in checking that out. But the CQC-7, guys, amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you have an amazing 4th of July. Spend time with your family. But most importantly, stay sharp.